Good evening, and thank you for joining us here on the Grim Reaper radio show. You can hear a load of laughing in the background, which is why I've muted Mr. Ice, because I think he's near a TV set or something. Either that, he's left the freezer door open again. So, for people who may be late, it's just not good enough. Miss J. Hello, Black National, Cheeky Sprite. And, of course, the one and only Nicholas Ghost Hunts. So, how are you doing, Mr. Rice? Are you melting?
Yeah, I'm melting. Melting away.
Apparently, he's just a snowflake.
But I was a snowflake. Then I went into an ice cube.
Right, and who took you out of the freezer?
Mrs. Ice Cube.
I thought you were going to say that. You always blame the wife. Hello, Gina, Carlos, Wolf Lovers in the house.
Hello, Ziggy. Wolf Lover, Carlos, Gina.
Ziggy's a hot dog.
National freedom fighter. I know that's why I'm melting.
Did I not mention freedom fighter? I could have sworn I did.
I think you did at the beginning, yeah.
Ah, right, okay. I thought I was going a bit stupid. Mama Milo.
Hello, Mama Milo. She's got a community page.
Oh, we don't. It's good, isn't it?
Aye.
Hey, congratulations on your community page. All things, all joking apart. Now all you need to do is to get to the next level, which is what, 1,000 subs? Easily done.
Well, I see yours is climbing quite good, Grimster.
Is it? I haven't even noticed.
Yeah, you're not doing so bad.
Oh, right, okay. I never check. Well, no, that's not true. I do check occasionally. Right, now I'm in the right StreamYard. I've only got 2 StreamYards open.
Oh, have you?
Well, I did have, I haven't now. So, what's tonight all about, Mr. Ice?
I ain't got a clue, but you haven't given me a chance to go over and read.
Who is a get? Well, maybe you should have done your homework so you'd have got the notification. That's what you get for turning around to me and saying, I've not had a chance to watch it yet. I've just woken up.
No, I've been awake for a while.
Well, in that case, then you've had no excuse.
Yeah, but I was on Discord, so...
How is that my problem?
Go on.
How is that my problem?
I know.
I mean, you sent me a message on Telegram.
I did.
You sent me a message on my phone.
I did.
Exactly the same one.
I did.
Might I add. Right?
I did.
So you copied and pasted, you cheeky so-and-so.
No, I never. I just retyped it, actually.
Ah, right. You retyped.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. New York Tyrant Hunter, how you doing, mate? Great to see you. Anyway, he's had time to do that, not once, but twice. But didn't have time to go and watch the intro. Well, when I say intro, what today's all about, but I've got a few other surprises up my sleeve for you anyway. Hello, Cuscase and Sasquatch. I dropped you an email if you want to check it out for us. But
you're listening.
Oh, shut up. Stick yourself back in the freezer. I don't know why you came out the closet. Sasquatch, it's not a problem. You can replacing a rotor. That's understandable why you can't type. So, yeah. Sorry, you said you were melting. Have you not got enough fans? Is that what you're saying? Mum and Milo's got enough fans. She should be cool with all those fans.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you don't have fans anymore. You used to.
The only fans I've got is what blows about in the room.
Yeah, a long time ago you had fans.
Yeah.
A different lifetime.
That's it.
Well. Hey, I was watching something earlier on today, which I thought was hilarious. Strange, because it was on Devos, and I don't find that funny at all, honestly. Yeah, they were showing what kids, how kids found the use of dial telephones.
Yeah.
And how to do it, because they hadn't got a clue. Like
right.
14 and 15-year-olds. So the parents or whoever is showing them an old dial phone from way back. You remember them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, that was the modernisation of the telephone service, as you will remember, when they moved across from just picking up the phone and speaking to an operator who would then connect you.
I remember.
You remember
it
them
was
days?
Telegram. I remember it was just Telegram on horseback.
It was never on horseback, not in your day.
Shanks' pony.
No, you're thinking of the Telegram Express over in the States. The beginning of the what's the word? Post office, modern day post office.
Yeah, the post office service.
Oh God, what have you been on today? Seriously, folks, you can't take him anywhere. I bet he's been drinking.
Nope.
Nope. Well, you can't. You can't be happy, surely.
Of course, I'm happy. I'm always happy. I am.
Oh, okay. I've had a long, tedious week. But hey up, J. Jot's cornered in the house. I sent you the link. You have the link in case you wish to drop on by. But yeah, we've got these kids. They're like, what have I done wrong? Some of them got the idea that you have to move a button,
right,
or a hole.
Yeah.
And to reset it, they pick the phone up and put it back down. Yeah, but hey. So I've got an educational video for those people who may not remember the dial tone, the dial telephones, because most people would have probably been around when it was push button and the introduction to the digital exchange.
Yeah, and we thought that was modern.
Yeah. So, well, you did, didn't you?
Of course I did.
It did away with everything, didn't it? And it introduced things like the Mercury button.
Yeah.
I bet you used the Mercury button for long distance calls. It was cheaper.
I had a lot full of pigeons. I had a lot full of pigeons. It was to send them out.
Hang on, is this in the days when you had hair and the pigeon fur covered your head?
That's right.
Right. And they call me a scatterbrain. Well, anyway, bird brain a bitten. You still got a bird in the background.
Is they? I can't hear none. Oh, I've got the windows open.
Right, okay.
Trying to cool it down a bit so I don't melt.
No, the bird in the living room.
I ain't got
the
I'm in an apartment. Just
You're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's the same bird that I hear every week. Don't tell me. Let me think of an excuse for you. You recorded it so you wouldn't feel homesick.
That's the one.
Yeah. Gina's dad was a supervisor for BT. I know all about phone tones. Hmm. Yeah, well, this is going back to pre BT when it was the GPO.
Yeah.
GPO was owned by. Hey, up, there's only me here. He's dropped out. He's had enough already. Should we let him back in when he comes back, or should we teach him a lesson? Nah, we'll let him back in. We sort of was ruined. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, press the wrong button.
Right. Did you press the any key?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the wrong button. Now I've totally lost what I was talking about. Then you threw me totally. What was I talking about?
You was making
comments.
Bird
Brain of Britain. That was it. Listen, I thought that bird was would be swearing by now. Obviously, it's read the terms of service.
Yeah, it has done, yeah.
More than you could do. Hello, Indy. Arkash, thanks for dropping by.
Hello, Indy. Arkash. Cheeky spirits.
He was around this morning. I was on his live, and he said to me, "You've got an addiction." And he told me what it was. He said to me that it was the internet. Well, it wouldn't be his crappy show, would it? Hello, Blackburn World. How are you doing?
Hello, Blackburn.
There's a rumor going around that Indy and I may end up doing a live occasionally together.
Oh, right.
Well, they say opposites attract. I'm the intelligent one. He's the dummy. Oh, sorry. I'm the one with the lowest wit. That's what it is. YouTube addiction big time. I haven't been on YouTube at all since this morning. I've been busy working. However, I would say that the number of shows you've been on YouTube today outnumbers the number I've been on. Did you get that one, Mr. Ice?
Let's see. No, it's Grandad again.
Yeah, Grandad.
Yeah. We're back. I just got changed my icon. I've lost the knacking thing.
Oh, so you have read the terms of service. Well done. Or was it the point that where I highlighted which said you will not fucking swear on the show?
Yeah, that's fucking right.
Yeah, thought so. I actually miswrote it. Gregory's in the house.
Hello, Gregory.
We're starting to get a few people in, which is great.
Right.
They've not come to listen to me. They come to listen to you.
No, they haven't come to listen to me.
Okay. Well, I don't know who they come to listen to. Is there another? Have they come in accidentally, do you think?
Oh, could have been, yeah. They maybe just thinking, who's this? Yeah, who's this Grim Reaper? The Grimster. Yeah.
Who's this guy that doesn't take any crap from people? I don't know. I think I've been clipped, you know.
What makes
Seriously.
you say that?
Went
What
to the
makes you say
barbers.
No, you got clipped the other night, son. Your face hit the screen more times than you
That's
know
fine.
what.
That's not a problem. It's never been a problem. I thought it was fun.
I did as
Funny. Yeah. You know, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. You know, people turn around and say that the Grim Reaper doesn't exist. Well, I totally agree. It's not
well.
one.
That's it.
It's not one person. It's a group of people. Yeah, who is Grim? The man who eats all the sausage rolls. Not all. I did leave 4. I was on a bit of a diet. Hey, it's great having a conversation with you without other people interrupting every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And
where
it's
is
great.
everybody?
Oh no, it's really good. Well. I only put out so many adverts
Oh, right.
or so many links. I wanted to spend a little bit of time, sort of like looking at the chat and teaching you how to read, so you could
That's
read
all
out
right.
the comments. You know,
Yeah.
who's that's just popped in? It's good old Tim. Hiya, Tim. Piece
Hello,
away from
Tim.
right. Oh, is that the only reason why you came in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be here. Ministry of Madness. That sounds like a good name. Ministry of Madness being in here. I think we're all bloody mad. Any, what's that? Other people what's that say? Interrupt on YouTube. Never. I don't interrupt anybody, do I?
No.
Listen, can you either reduce the delay between when you speak to when StreamYards picks up, or decrease the delay in your brain, whichever's easiest?
Hang on. Right. You can still hear me there, can't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right.
Is he playing with his equipment again in front of the computer?
Oh yeah, you can have that mic back when we next meet up.
Okay.
You know that mic you lent me.
Well, have you got another one?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Put
Oh,
the camera on it,
hang on.
on the magnifying glass. No, you
Yeah.
better not. I don't want to go down there.
Hang on. There you go. Camera.
Oh, you got a gold one.
I got a gold
And
one.
an arm. And an arm. And you
Yeah,
got
so
a face screen. Oh, how that now that's brilliant. No.
But people kept saying, I can't hear you. Then I got this all sorted, and now people have been saying, you're too loud.
Sorry. Gone a bit deaf. What was that?
I said people say I'm too loud.
No, sorry, can't hear you.
That's all right.
I can read the chat. The chat says you've got a voice changer.
That's correct.
Oh, what have you got?
A VAS.
You can go to the doctors and get some cream for it. A V8S.
A V8, 8, number 8, S for sugar.
Yeah.
Sound card.
Yeah, so you've got the V8 series.
Yes.
Yeah. Little black box.
Yeah.
Last owner was a downed aircraft.
if you like.
Think about that one. You just can't get them, can you? Go on. Do your helium voice you're being asked.
Helium voice. Hang on. Is it that one? I can't hear it, you see, at this end.
Can't hear what?
That noise. Whatever's
No,
coming
no,
out.
no. I'm waiting for you for the helium voice.
Hang on. I can't hear it at this end.
Well, that's because of the way you got it set up.
So, isn't that coming through? It should be coming through like that.
No, it's not coming through like that.
All right. Is it now?
Say again. No, you've gone off.
Is that working?
No, that's a bit better. No, you muted yourself. Pressing the wrong buttons. Plutoy, how are you? Now I don't know whether anything is being transmitted or not. Not that I mind too much. You probably got better things to do, like chat amongst yourselves. I don't know what's happened to him. The government have given me a media blackout on social media. Can't upload anything. Change your IP address. That way it won't pick you up as much. Create some new accounts with some new emails. That works. Hello, Grandad.
Hello. Hang on.
Ah, that's better.
Is that better?
No, it was before. You can have some more helium now. Now you know which button to press.
Aye.
But do you know if you put a pair of headphones into the back of the box where it says headphones,
Which
which you have got at the moment, right? Okay. So you were obviously, you either didn't have the volume button set up, right? Or you should put the connection into the next one so that you get both, so you can monitor.
Yeah, it was because before it was coming through the through the laptop as well. So I had to keep making it go through the laptop first.
So no, you don't want to go through the laptop. You just have your mic, your mic and sound card connected. That's all, and because you're going before the laptop, right? You're picking it straight up from the sound box. You'll hear yourself as well.
Yeah.
Which could be a raw pain in the backside, believe me. Hello, Rex. How are you doing? Great for you to drop on by. Thank you very much.
Hello, Rex.
And UK Transparency. I saw you nipping in as well. Usual suspects.
Yeah, usual suspect. So, have we got any quizzer out tonight or not?
No, but what I do want to talk about, really, and I'd love to chat to get involved, although you don't have to, because nothing's compulsory. Pork chops. Hiya, mate. Cost of living.
Pork chop. Oh, yeah.
Cost of living. Now, I heard on the old grapevine, in fact, I think it was in one of the stupid news articles I pick up on occasionally, that the government are in negotiation with Ofgem to allow the companies who provide us with our wonderful fuel, gas and electricity, to be able to double the last increase.
Bloody hell.
So they're talking near enough to 100%, which will mean that the average household will be paying well in excess, in some cases, of $4,000 a year.
Well, it's like your water. What do you pay on water, Grim? Do you
Well,
pay?
I think it's about 50 quid a month. Where I used to live, it was half that.
Right. I'm paying 69 a month now.
Yeah, you're being ripped off.
It was either that or let's go see Mr. Judge.
Well, in that case, then, as much that's the next sort of question, or within the discussion, so to speak, is as a country, if we are driving and I use this phrase, the working class person. They used to say working class man, but apparently it's not correct anymore. But if they're driving the wages down, right?
Yeah.
And increasing costs for the household, right? Then all they're doing is creating a fourth class citizen. Because that fourth class citizen will not be able to get any credit. They'll have a bad credit score.
Yeah.
Because every late payment or payment you don't make, right,
goes on the credit card.
Exactly, gets recorded against you, right? So our current credit system means the higher your points, the more money you can borrow, right?
That's right.
So obviously, anything which is goes in a negative puts you in a negative, which means that you get a garbage credit file.
Yeah.
Now I say this because I was thinking about the situation that you were telling me about, that you've just alluded to. If you owe the corporation, right, money, the local government money, right, even the tax office money, so we can call central government into that as well.
Yeah.
What do? They put more pressure on you. They send you to court. You end up with a county court judgment against you for not keeping up with payments, which again affects your credit score, which means that you're no longer credit worthy. Right.
And plus, they put money of the costs on.
And then you've got the indirect costs.
Yeah.
Right. So we've had 2 years, damn it, of shortages blamed on this, that, and the other. Yeah. And then they've topped it up with this little spat going on over near the Ukraine borders, I believe, or in the Ukraine. And they're blaming delays on that. And since that stupid vice president from America went over to Taiwan, get it right. That's caused tensions over there, which could lead to all sorts of escalation, shall we say. I think it started. They're going to blame everything on delays. And it's going to mean that the prices go up because the bosses want their pay rise.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a news channel in America, which was on like Martelli, right? And they was on about 2 nights ago and they were saying the IRS, which is the same as our tax office,
Yep.
that they've got police going around with them armed.
Got what? The police are armed, or they're armed.
As far
The
as I
tax
could make
office.
out, it's the police are armed with them. So the police are there on their behalf.
Oh yeah. Well, they work for the state.
Yeah.
But they're only there to prevent them from being shot
Right.
by the people, or to try anyway, because they're going around house to house trying to collect money. You with me? They're going to need some sort of armed escort. I'm surprised they've not got the National Guard doing it. But yeah, I say it's not just here; it is everywhere. So, what can we do about it? Oh, I know what we can do about it. This is YouTube. So what we do is we start arguing amongst ourselves instead of discussing the real things that matter.
Well, that's what's been happening.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go into the garbage I've finally caught up with, because it wasn't even worth me catching up with it, to be honest. But while we're as a community, and I don't mean a community of auditors or anything, a community of people who have the same aim, shall we say, which is to make ourselves a better life. Now, what that's going to look like, I couldn't tell you at this present moment in time, but we do need to do something. And there was a situation I heard about where a group of teenagers, literally hundreds and thousands of them, caused a website to get super blocked, and it was eventually taken down. So, because it couldn't handle it. Now, I have an apology to make, because I didn't see you come into the chat, because I've been having such a riveting conversation with Grandad. Carl and Alison are in the house.
Hello. Carl and Alison. Hello, Lord of Audit.
Oh, I knew Lord of Audits was in. If he wanted to come up and say hello, he's got the link. He knows how to do it. Go into Skype, check your messages, you'll find it there. Honest to who?
No, Lynn just said she's man as a dog.
Oh, I thought she said honest to God. Never mind. So, when she finds the dog, is she going to tell you, or are you just going to be left hanging?
Yeah, I've already found the dog.
All right. Oh, you're on the train. You're on the train back. Got you. Okie dokie. You can do text on the train, but you can't do voice, because people think he's an absolute nutter.
You can. I once did a CB on the train, and I mean a proper car rig, and the guard come through and just said, "Oh, if anyone says you've got to stop it, you've got to stop it." But other than that, they let me off with it.
Yeah, but the guard's in charge of the train.
Yeah, I know he is. Well, he said he wasn't bothered.
That's what. Oh, forget. Oh, you can't take him anywhere. I said it earlier. Anyway,
That's all right.
My apologies to you, because you've fallen victim of this so-called price hiking. Let's make as much money out of people as possible. Because I've not been able to get over to see you, because the price of fuel has gone through the roof. In some places, it's still over £2 per litre. And for any Americans that are around, that's roughly $8.50 per gallon, which is rather expensive. But there isn't a shortage of fuel. It's just that the barrels of fuel are being held back. That's the only reason. It's not as if we're in the days of, in the last 2 years where people were panic buying.
Yeah.
And there was a genuine shortage, because there isn't. It's just the sheer cost of it. I mean, it cost me, come down a bit, so it's about 70 quid to fill the tank up the other day. However, the last time I filled it up, it was just short of 100. I think it's about 97. So it's come down a fair amount, but there again, I had no choice. I had no fuel in the vehicle. Well, if it's around about 187 down to 182, it's a bit far for me to travel, but if it was over that way, it would make sense. Obviously, depending on where you live, depends on whether or not you get a reduction. So all the posh areas are getting a reduction, you see, whereas us who live in the not so posh areas aren't getting a reduction because we're expected to pay it. No, I'm only joking. And on the queue, hello, crash economy. Oh, yep, it's moved out. It's Great Reset, depopulation, freeze or starve, Europe to death next winter. Okay. Yeah, but that's next winter. Today we're more concerned about us overheating and dying as a result, because we can't afford to keep the fans on because they use electricity. And if you're unlucky or lucky enough to have solar panels, then, well, tough, because you don't get a reduction either, because that electricity get pushed back into the national grid. And they say, thank you very much.
Yeah, well.
But other than that, yeah. Are you still there, Granddad?
Yeah, end of the day, there's not much we can do about it, is there? Not unless everyone sticks together. They don't in this country.
Yeah, all right then, Mr. Negative. Let's.
I'm going by all the demos and stuff like that. They're all online going, oh yeah, we're there. And then when the organisers turn up, hardly any turn up.
Demos aren't going to cut it. I'll tell you what, if you want to win something, right, you have to take more serious action. Withdraw your money. Withdraw paying for things.
But then they're just going to grab you in court for it, or cut you off, or whatever.
Well, they're not allowed to cut your water off. For starters, they can never do that.
I know that. I've been playing that one. I know.
And I'm talking about, if a loaf of bread is now costing you £1.50, £2, where before it was only costing you less than £1, right? Why pay for it? Yeah. If everybody stopped making selective payments, right? Or if everybody offered a fair price for the goods that they want to purchase and only pay that amount, how are they going to take everyone to court? Or how are they going to take everybody to court on the ground grounds of being a criminal for not paying? Because don't we have a given right to eat?
I get what you're saying, but it is hard to think about it.
Yeah, but if this is something which we could do as a group of like-minded people, and I'm not just talking about the auditors or some of the creators, I'm talking across YouTube, to get the word out, to spread it out. If a group or if some youngsters who have come up with, been brought up with the internet, can figure out without telling anybody to do anything, and they did it, right?
Yeah.
Even though they were advised not to by the youngsters who put it out, they said it would be such a bad thing, right? Oh, how sarcasm is grown up with the internet now. People did the opposite automatically because they thought, hang on, and these are kids who thought outside the box and got them not just a bit of a following, but a massive following in one of the states, right? That they can cause a government website to go down because they wanted their own rights, which had been taken away from them, right? It was in Texas, and it was to do with the fact now that Texas is coming with the strongest anti-abortion laws anywhere in the States, and all because of a senator. They can't do anything about it now. What they were actually doing was getting people to grasp on other women who even thought about the idea. So they obviously decided that's not going to happen. So I reckon that, and it's only theoretical to me. If there's something that everybody feels passionate about, we can do something about it. And do we have to wait until it's too late and more people are thrown out of the homes, or children taken away from them, or worse, people die of starvation as a result, whether that be young or old? Now's the time to start doing it before that happens. And that's the way I see it. But I always see things in black and white, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll look at the problem and I look for a solution. I'm not going to say that is the ideal solution, but it's better than marching on in London or anywhere else, because that's not going to get you anywhere.
No, I know what you mean.
So but that was my theory, and I thought I would share that. And if anybody in the chat has actually listened to what's being said, then you're more than welcome. And this is where the issue is, to a certain extent, is that people hear what's going on, they see what's going on, but they don't necessarily see eye to eye. When you go away to think about it, they might re-watch this and go, actually, that's not a bad idea. Seymour Cannabis, how are you doing? Sorry, my apologies, didn't quite see you hop in there. Good job, I check the chat occasionally. But what do you what's your thought? Do you think of it? Could you think of anything else that might work?
No, not really. I think you've covered it all, haven't you?
Covered it all. I've only just started, but I'm not going to bore everybody. It's just an idea, folks. I'm not saying suggesting that anyone should in any way break the law. I think we break the law every 2 seconds somewhere.
Well,
been plenty of warnings to stock up for months, yes, but with no explanation and on the queue, because the word's not got out there. And in my position, where I am in a single bedroom flat, I don't have the space to stock up in any way, shape, or form. And the other thing is, if you start stocking up now, you are creating a false shortage.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and people will. Some people will go without things. I'm talking about real stuff, not toilet rolls. I'm talking about
Yeah.
things like
Food.
medicines, food, things that you actually need to live off. The food's there. The food's always going to be made. And, at the end of the day, it's whoever makes it is going to get paid. The people who are employed are going to get paid because they have what's known as a contract of employment.
Yeah.
You've got your computer sounds on as well. Who forgot to mute them? You know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing with his new sound card. Hello, Kim Francis. DeWitt.
Hello, Kim. Hello, DeWitt.
You've missed the serious stuff. We ain't got no anything else. That was it. We were talking about the revolution of the earth, and no, we weren't. It was a serious chat around what we're going to be facing or likely to be facing, and what we can do regarding getting the word out to as many people as possible as to what is actually happening and the fact that everything's going up. And there are things that people can do. I came up with a very novel idea. If somebody wants to come up with something else, let's have a chat about it. Please just make it terms of service passable, please. And that's it. We make an offer as to how much we're willing to pay for the goods that we have purchased, what we think the value is. Now, obviously, you'll have some people who have high moral standards and will offer what it's worth, what the goods are worth, which I can guarantee you is not the amount charged.
All right, then.
But then, of course, you'll have some people who won't.
Like what you're just saying there, right? About paying what you think it's worth. Right, we've just gone on to a ban on using hose pipes today, right? So that means I can't use my full water service for what I'm paying for.
Which means that you should be able to get a reduction in your standard charge.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not going to happen.
No, I know.
And the reason being is that it doesn't make a blind bit of difference to the people who don't use hose pipes, like me.
Yeah.
So why should you get a reduction and I'm not getting a reduction?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's always an argument there, isn't there?
Well, you want to play devil's advocate? I have no problem. But I'll always come back with something 9 times out of 10. Rex, I'm not talking about a relevation. Sorry. I can't say words like that live on YouTube. I cannot help what the people say in the chat. That is for them only. And in the description, I do say for educational purposes only.
Who was it that sang that song about that word? I can't remember.
You mean this? You say there's going to be sorry, what? Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
from the 60s.
Yeah.
Well, they actually made 2. The second one was just a load of 9s.
Oh, right.
And that was Revolution number 9.
Right.
But the song Revolution, that was the Beatles.
Oh, right.
Obviously.
No, for some reason, I didn't think it was that.
They didn't just write it; they sung it on the top of a building in London.
Yeah,
and they did the roof performance.
Yeah.
And then I believe you two did a similar thing over in the States and got the same reaction. Yes, it was their right to do it. They didn't. They had permission from the owners of the building to stand there and to jam. And the coppers did have to negotiate them stopping. But no, what they were doing, they was recording one single or a couple of singles, I think it was, for their album, and they fancied doing it on top of a rooftop.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it was an original idea, but part of an original idea anyway that was borrowed.
Well, that's it, innit?
I don't need to eat a lot. I like that one, Gina. You may not need to eat a lot. However, there are thousands of us who do. I mean, someone's got to keep me in the sausage rolls. No, seriously, I'm only joking. Yeah, it is a serious thing. I mean, that's the other thing is that what's the next thing which is going to be going on? Charging us more. Well, actually, that's in the pipeline probably in April. Charging us more for prescriptions, cutting back on the number of people who can have free prescriptions. Yeah.
Well, what they're talking, what I heard yesterday on the UK news was that there was on about they might temporarily, if the companies don't play ball, that they'll bring it back into nationalisation for a short period.
Internationalisation? Don't you mean nationalisation?
Nationalisation, sorry.
Yeah, well, to do that, they've got to pay the shareholders out.
Yeah. So it's better than a load of rubbish.
There is one way of doing it, and that is to what they did was they denationalised. They can renationalise. They're allowed to do that because that was in the when it was originally set up by the Tories. The first thing that the next Labour government did was to get that put into the statute books. That the government of the day can renationalise at no compensation, theoretically.
Right.
Well, I would say that that would depend on who's in power and how many brown paper envelopes get passed around.
Yeah.
You know, empty or full. Usually at the top, it's a big wedge, and by the time it gets down to the lower people, it's a smaller wedge. You know, because everybody takes a bit out. Unless you're a fat cat, in which case you just take the lot and run.
Yeah.
You know, seen that happen before. But yeah, I mean, they suggested up to my legacy debit 76. Oh, right, you'd be paying. Right, yes. Well, they're going to make sure that you work until you're 76 when they recalculate again. Because the biggest problem is interest rates will go up, blah, 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 and we'll end up paying through the nose for everything anyway. Government will cease all benefit payments unless jibbied. And the government with a digital government bank account. Well,
don't you think that's why this is going that way? Because we've all been talking about this for quite a long time now, and don't you think it's coming to
fruition?
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, I think it's been going for about 30 years, but I don't think you're going to be getting digital currency. Hello, Crafty Cat. I don't think that will be the case. I think there'll always be pounds and pence, real money. I just think that the amount you get will be reduced and reduced and reduced. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
in order,
it's the same as recycling, though, isn't it, Grim? Soon it'll be you'll wait till you're not here no more.
Yeah, until you drop. Yeah, it's going back in time.
Yeah.
And part of that reason is that there aren't enough people working that can cover the debt which the government are going to face in 15, 20 years' time, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because as people under a certain age or who were born pre 1960, I think it was, after from 1960 onwards, they get a staggered extra couple of years, and I think you're going to see that instead of it going to 67, the next one will be 70, then it'll go to 75, because people are living longer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people aren't living longer that don't need support or don't need medication, etc. But who's going to foot the cost? Because you haven't got people working, you haven't got the taxes. So what's the easiest thing to do? Put the prices up. The government then get their bit of extra cash if it's all declared properly, because they'll get it on VAT, they'll get it on fuel, tax on tax.
Well, exactly. I mean, I've had people that I've spoke to, and they've been going on about, well, we don't pay it because we're on benefits. I said, yeah, but you do, because you when you go out and buy your food, it's on it, blah blah blah, and so on and so on.
Yeah, and that's where the problem is. People don't see the hidden taxes anymore.
Yeah.
The government have said that, we're going to hold the energy tax. Right? We're not going to increase the energy tax. Not that they won't scrap it, they won't put it up. But on that energy tax, you pay extra VAT anyway. So, people who turn around and say energy is free, it's not. It's not tax-free anyway, And as we are all reliant on the internet, I don't know whether many people have noticed, but the average internet price has gone up roughly 2% above the cost of inflation within the UK or Great Britain. All of the internet service providers, their average increase is something like 5 to 7%, something like that. I have heard of it being as high as 7%. And then you've got the cost of mobile phones, and you know what they're like.
Well, the class the internet as essential now.
It's not a utility. It'll never be a utility. It might be classed as essential, but it's not classed as affordable.
Yeah.
It'll only be the rich who will be able to have it.
Yeah,
and guess what? They then control it.
Of course they do.
Yes, the national grid, the infrastructure has been paid for. Yes, but it's not been paid back to the government when they had it in there right at the beginning, and they put it all together. Crafty Cat's got it right now. She's saying it how it is. Over in the States and in Canada, they have different systems to us. They pay taxes on taxes and different things. I mean, America, you can get 14 different levels, I think it is, a tax. So, at least 4 I can think of: federal, state, and local taxes. So There's 3, and then whatever other taxes might go in on because of bylaws or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
Go on then. Tell me what in doom then.
Well, eventually,
Yeah.
you know, you know, you like Cat has put out there, pre-pay your funeral charges because it's cheaper while you're alive. There's a lot of
Yeah.
those simple ceremonies being sold now where it's guaranteed for something like £1,500 to £1,700 you pay in advance, or you pay a little bit more over a period of time. You can pay for your burning event,
Yeah.
cremation in advance. And well, here's an interesting one, Gina. You can't actually have your body buried in your own garden. Not if
No.
you don't hold the leases for the property, because the leaseholder can say what and what can't at any time be the land can be used for. So legally, you could apply for it, and if there's no objections across certain avenues, then yes, you can be buried on your own property if the leaseholder agrees. And also, the other thing I would say is that there is no reason why you have to be cremated or buried in a coffin, so long as it meets certain regulations. Now, regulations get into everything, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. I mean, apparently you can do your own funeral though, can't you? But you still got to pay for the whatever at the end of it.
You've got to pay for the cremation.
Yeah.
They're moving more towards cremation being the cheapest way because, dare I say it, the cemetery is usually owned by a religion or two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah. Recycling, so to speak. I think I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago. I might have been on here. I've had a sleep since then anyway, I think. A very good friend of mine, when she passed, she was cremated, and it was coming towards the end of no, tell a lie, it was before the COVID regulations had been lifted, and around about 50 people, including myself, the missus, the immediate family, is a big family, by the way, went to North Wales, and to Prestatyn, which was a favourite place, and he got the box out, and the ashes came in, and because his mother had always wanted to be laid to rest at sea, he kicked her out.
Oh, right.
Well, he didn't actually kick her out. The box went out. Everybody thought it was hilarious. But then there was a big, huge sigh of relief when he actually got the what you call it, the proper container out, the urn, and then put it here to rest in the sea, so to speak. Except for one thing, he forgot to check which way the wind was blowing. And his mother had the last laugh.
Yeah.
especially he didn't have a change of clothing, and I couldn't get a shower or anything. So, yeah. A human, I can't even pronounce that, Mr. Blue. Humanist, that's the one. Funeral. Yeah, that's a non-religious, but you still either get buried or you get burnt. Yeah. And at one time, wasn't it funny? They always burnt witches.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to get burnt. I will be eventually. I'm donating my carcass to medical science, which is the cheapest way of doing it.
Well, I never knew that one. I knew what you was going to do, but I didn't know it was the cheapest way.
Yeah, there's no cost, no charge.
Right.
They come, they scoop you up. That's it. Take you away. They keep you to a maximum of 2 years, and then after that, you are burnt.
Yeah,
and
but
your ashes are scattered in the memorial garden of the hospital.
right. Yeah, but as long as somebody don't claim the body, which that's one thing that people approached me about afterwards, and they said, "Have you been and registered it?" I said, "Yeah." Well, that's when once you claim it, then you're legally bound. But if nobody claims it, they have to do something.
Yeah, they register. Obviously, you need a death certificate. The death certificate just confirms that somebody has died. That's it. It has no other meaning at all. You're not held accountable for any debt. The estate is, if they have an estate. If they don't have anything, as in bricks and mortar, or they've been clever enough to disperse with it beforehand, then obviously there is still nothing to pay, anything that you leave behind. But if you notice, you can only get credit to a certain age. After that, it's very difficult to get credit.
Yes.
Through normal sources.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Now, I've got a few friends of mine who, on a regular basis, rather than getting payday loans, which sort of makes sense because obviously they charge 100% or near enough of whatever you borrow, plus their own charges. They put, goods of value, shall we say, into cash generator. Cash generator is basically the new, I've got to say this right, pawn broker.
Yeah.
Sorry, pawn, did you say?
Yeah.
Did you say pawn broker?
AWN.
Thank you for spelling it. So, yeah, give you money against your TV or whatever, and then you pay it back within a certain amount of time, plus a little bit on top, which is interest rate that they have to say how much it is, and this is why you can get loans at 1,000% interest over a 12-month period per annum, or 100% or whatever it is. You with me? They can charge what they like. Yeah. Not to mention their hidden charges for arranging the loan.
Yeah. Well, just you've got to remember this one. When you see betting shops turning up here, there, and everywhere, and when you see, I'm trying to think of the other one. The pawnbrokers showing up, things are going bad because they're not used so much when it's normality.
Yeah. Gina, it was me that said prawn. Well, I thought it was funny, but so yeah, I mean, I think sooner or later there is an end to it, but that end is usually not the best. But what makes it worse is that people are going to have the choice in real terms, not just from a point of view of it just saying it is in reality. A, do they eat or do their children eat? This is dating back to the 60s as well, because that's what happened then and before. And whether to heat or eat is the latest phrase. Well, I got news for the wonderful mainstream press. That has been going on for donkey's years as well. Because when there was mass unemployment in the 70s and in the 80s, people were on very low money, and you can have this argument that in reality they had more money than what they have now. Well, that's all right for people who have very short memories or like to justify garbage. The fact of the matter is that in reality, they didn't. They had less because they didn't have as much money, but prices still went up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can remember those sort of days, Grandad.
Of course I can. The only thing I can remember about what the handouts was the last time was the Butter Mountain. That was it. Apart from that, never known it. Never known them get cash out like they're supposed to be doing now.
Oh, they're giving cash out. Did you not get yours? It was £2.50. No, there was some money that came out to help people who qualified, and only those that qualified would get the money.
Yeah.
And not to ask about it. So to me, it was either a postcode lottery, or they wanted to keep as much back as possible without saying how much they were actually giving away.
Maybe, could be.
You know.
But even like the one that's coming out in winter, to be honest, how they're handing it out doesn't really make sense, because they're giving it to the energy company, but where people were saying, yeah, but if they give them the cash in their hand, they won't use it on the right thing. But what stops them? So if they give you £66, right, per month, you're going to deduct £66 out of your money, what you usually pay on it. Or the people, I shouldn't say anybody's, certain people are.
Okay, so if the way that they're supposed to be doing it is, hang on a second. Devo, your turn to sit and listen. You're bobbing Bob out because he's already done one show. He'd be knackered. You'll have to think on this one as well. But don't go away just yet. I've got something to show you. I lost track now. Where was I? Sorry. Come on, Grandad.
I was talking about the £66 they're supposed to be going to give out to people of
that. Yeah. So that is to help them with the cost of living, right? Yeah. And I can guarantee you it'll probably go to people who are on benefits of some description.
No, I thought it went across the board. I thought that one was going across the board. It didn't matter if he was a millionaire or not.
As a general rule, right? It's normally like the last lot that was giving out the 300 odd pounds.
Yeah.
So I think it's 324, something like that. That went to people who were on benefits, theoretically. Yeah. Right. I've not heard of this one, but I do know that after the energy bit, £150, it was knocked off the council tax. They're going to be doing the same thing over the next 4 years, where they're going to knock money off the council tax. But I would guess, if you can remember how much it was, £50 a year. And that's the reasoning behind what they would do. That's how they were going to do it. But whether or not people, I mean, last time it was a joke because they gave you £150 back and then charged you in the same month. So those who pay by direct debit, right, if you think about it, that month, right, all they would have needed to do was to pay the difference between the £150 rebate and what they would have been charged if they were paying by direct debit.
Yeah,
And
I know what you mean.
guarantee they were still going to get some money, the council, that month. You know, in my case,
Yeah.
I think I ended up with £25 in my pocket, and I went, gee, what am I going to do with this? I know I'll nip out and buy myself not a lot, because before I could decide what I was going to use it on, the wife nicked it. It went towards one of her haircuts. And she's promised me she won't go as often now. So instead of her going twice a month, she'll only go once a month. She said, that's what I'm prepared to do to cut down. Yes, dear. So instead of it costing £200 it's now going to cost me 150, 60, 70 pounds. Yeah, you saved me a lot. Thank you. Wiki Bitchy Nikki is in the house, but for those people who know her name's actually Nikki.
Hello, Nikki.
She keeps changing her name. So we've actually covered quite a lot, really, if you think about it, tonight, for a serious conversation. And did I not mention cutting back the amount of time I do these lives for?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you did actually. You did. You did the other week.
Yeah. Part of the slight changes, especially during this horrible weather that we're having, I decided that I need to sleep more, or attempt to. So, although it's a Friday night, I will be finishing earlier than normal because we haven't got as much stuff to go on. You know, one roted down, one to go. Right. Is that to help get your arms to work with your rotor arms? Oh, right. You thought of that as well, did you? Okay. Right. So we've got a couple of Americans in, and as I was saying earlier on, we were talking about, or I witnessed something, I should say, regarding dial tones, remember? Well, it was on Devo's channel, so I am going to play something which it's only a couple of minutes long, but it'll teach you how to use a dial tone, because a dial telephone, because you never know, we might have to go back to this when we can't afford our mobile phones, etc.
No, in that two cans and a string.
Watch and find out. I borrowed this.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. You're looking at a rotary telephone. This is not brand new, this is vintage. This is more of a modern phone, a cell phone, smartphone. This is the kind that has to be hooked into a wall via a cord. So they call it a landline. This is from the early 80s. It's one of the last rotary dial one, but today I wanted to show you how to dial a rotary phone. Numbers 1 through 9 with a 0. You have to do all digits just like you do with a regular smartphone nowadays. But you can't just dial. You have to put your finger there and go clockwise to the stop and then release. So if I wanted to dial area code of 715, well, first you have to do the 1, 7, 1, 5. Each time I let go and goes back. Before it'll actually connect, I have to pick up the receiver, this is called. So you pick it up, and these two little buttons here are on springs, and they pop up, and now the phone is live. So now I dial 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then you just wait for them to pick up. Probably not a real number. Anyway, couple steps. Pick up the receiver, dial clockwise to the stop, and let go. Once you're done with all 10 digits, talk. Pretty simple, but if you've never seen it done before, you probably haven't got a clue. I want to show you how loud these things are. This is actually hooked up, so I'm going to dial it. And there's no putting this kind of phone on snooze. Ready? Here we go. Dialed it. Holy crap. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, anybody there? Let me just hang up. Thanks for watching.
But that took you back a bit.
Yeah, it did.
Saw a few of the comments. That was my old phone.
It used to be a bugger when you had to dial a real long number, didn't it? And the one there, so you had to keep doing it. There was no redial or out like that.
Right, okay. Sorry, I just caught up with something in the chat, didn't see before. Right, so, yeah, well, someone put in, it took 999 ages.
Yeah,
do you know?
Yeah.
Right, and do you know why the Americans went with 112?
Because it's nearer.
Quicker. It's quicker.
Yeah.
Now, we had, we got a comment there from Mr. Blue. And wait for the party line. Now, do you remember a party line?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right, okay. So there was 2 levels back in the days of the good old GPO, General Post Office, who ran the postal service here in Great Britain. And because it was nationalised, it was run by the state. Shh, we won't say anything because BT's made it even worse. What they did was there are 2 types of lines. One was your own line that cost X amount, and then there was the cheaper one, which was the party line. And that meant that you shared it with at least one other group or one other line anywhere in your exchange area.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be your neighbour who you could just politely turn around and say, "Can you put the phone down? I need to make a phone call to our Jimmy," you know. Oh, no, it could be anyone. So you go to pick up the phone and you could listen into other people's conversations as well.
That's right.
Yeah. They became illegal. I wonder why. And they had to, what they then did was that they upped the price by something like 50% so that everybody was on the same system. A little bit later on, they got rid, because this was only the first time they changed over the exchanges. Because before that, they had, you picked up the telephone and you'd wait to speak to an operator who would connect you.
Yeah.
You know, and they would say, "Just connecting your call," or words to that effect. Anyway, this was the first part. This was analog. All right. And it lasted for donkey's years.
Yeah, well, even in my childhood, if you did an international call, you still did do that.
Yep. or a long distance call.
Yeah.
You very rarely direct dial initially to start off with. That didn't come till someone realized that if you can actually connect the numbers, which is where you got the first nationalized telephone system, and that came in with a digital dialing where you had the push buttons.
Yeah.
And for long distance calls, you had separate carriers, and the biggest one here was called Mercury. Funny. She paid the price. She had no nostrils left. That stopped her from sniffing. Anyway, sorry. Digital allowed you to open the door to new smarter phones and cordless phones. Do you remember your very first cordless phone?
Yeah, I do.
Did it have a long aerial?
Quite long, yeah.
Yeah. It worked off FM signal between the handset, and it was very, very chunky, and the base unit, but it was better in line of sight. You tried going into another room, you would lose signal. You know.
Well, I remember I can't remember what they call the thing now, but I was the first thing that I went on, one of the first, I should say. You had to go to like where a shop was, and there was a little aerial there, and you'd park up.
Rabbit.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the
yep.
one. Yeah.
Rabbit was the first mobile telephone system.
Yeah, it was a good handset though. It did well in the house, but it did both outside and in.
Yep. And the problem with the reason why it failed miserably was they charged a lot to have the aerials put up outside shops.
Yeah.
Extensions. Do you remember extensions?
Yeah.
Where you'd have a master socket, and then if you were rich, you'd have 4 extensions in your house, 2 upstairs and 2 downstairs.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't move your phones around until the cordless handset came out. And as I say, very expensive, overpriced.
Even the cordless, when they first started, you could, when it was analog, you could get a scanner, just a cheap scanner, and you could listen to people's conversations. It was terrible, really.
Oh yeah. Because it worked off FM analog.
Yeah,
it wasn't very good.
Substation. So even them if there was in Aberdeen and you're in somewhere like Lincoln, you could still hear them in there. Yeah, it was balmy. Basalt substations still took it. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. But in order to bring modernization to our decrepit tin can and a piece of string network that we had, because that's what it sounded like at times. 2 tin cans held together with a tight piece of string.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing was the denationalization, which sort of brings you into what you were talking about earlier. And British Telecom was invented. And they owned everything, the network, the lot. But I used to, for those people who were really old, Grandad, who remember the 2 bells on top of an alarm clock.
Yeah.
How many people set the alarm clock to go off at a certain time and hide it near to where the telephone was, but out of sight. So it was usually the head of the house that always answered the phone, right? And it was always in pecking order. If they weren't in, then
Yeah,
the
it
father
went
would answer it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, or the man of the house would answer it, you know. But yeah, I remember doing little tricks like that back in the day, setting off an alarm clock to go behind the telephone. Now, there was a lounger and a table, or the telephone table, which was actually not a table, really. In some cases, it was just something you put the telephone on. But it was called the telephone table. And it's usually located in the hallway. So whenever you had a conversation, anybody walking past could hear you, unless you were very quiet. But I used to do this on a regular basis. And at 7 o'clock every night, or was it 7:30? No, it was 7:30 because my mother used to answer the phone when Coronation Street was on. As soon as that was on, the phone would ring, and she always said the same thing. They know I watch Coronation Street at 7:30. Why are they ringing me? So, of course, she'd go to the phone, pick it up, and there's no one there, just a dialing tone. She'd always come back and say, they hung up before I got there. Yes, I was a little bit of a git even back in them days. Oh, yes, the telephone. Oh, yes. Now, the payphone in the house or the dial telephone. Because there was no way of stopping anybody from using it, someone invented a lock that went on it.
Yeah.
Now you've got a mobile phone that has a lock on it, but it's not as big.
Well, it's same as our landline telephone. We've got a pin on that to stop the kids coming and just using it.
Yeah, but you don't use it anyway. It's for an inbound only.
What?
Your house phone, you don't make calls out of it. It costs you too much. You got mobiles.
No, it is. We've found a new thing I want to go through that week anyway.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Look,
just
because I work in the telephone industry doesn't mean to say that I know everything about it. Only most of it.
Oh, you will. All right, then I'll see it then.
No,
right, we found
right.
we was gonna cancel the internet and the service right altogether and go somewhere else to start it up. So they said, right, and they asked our circumstances. So they said, oh, there's this special one what you can go on. Now they've dropped it's dropped now from 60 odd quid for broadband and telephone to something like 30 something, right? But when and there was supposed to drop my internet speed down. Now the internet speed is still up at the top level. It shouldn't be. So I've got proof. I've got a printed proof that we requested this new service.
Yep.
And they've not done it. So surely I shouldn't have to pay a full bill.
You need to. Were you given a date of when it was going to change?
Yeah, it was Monday. Monday just gone. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You do realise because you've got an antiquated network where you are. Sorry, big word. Old. It takes a minimum of 10 days, and then for the broadband to settle takes up to a third 20 days, which is the reason why they give you a 30-day speed guarantee. Which
I've got a 14-day cooling off period.
Oh yeah, you got that. Yeah, that's right. Because it's long distance selling.
If that takes that long for it all to be set up and sorted, my 40 days is going to be up before I can even say, well, yeah, it's working fine.
Well, the easiest thing for you to do is you ring up and you just ask them how much you're paying per month.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. And then when you
Don't
turn
think-
around to you say it's 60 odd, you go, what? No, it should be this.
It
Because
won't be.
the
It'll
onus
be
is
cancel it.
the onus is on you.
Right.
It's not on them. And
Even though I've got printed proof that they've accepted the change.
yes, it's still on you to check it.
Right.
Read your T's and C's.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue, you received a 6 months refund from your provider, your service provider, presumably, because they couldn't guarantee the minimum speed. Yes, they can offer you that. Yes, they can, under the Ofcom guidelines. Because what they say is if you cannot guarantee it these days, and you continue to stay with the company, it's either at no reduction or with a reduction. Your service company can't guarantee it, therefore they've agreed to give you compensation as a gesture of goodwill. Or as a gesture of goodwill, but if you remain with them, you understand that it's because that you'll never get the correct speed. And unfortunately, the same will go with every other service provider because of where you are, if it's via the BT network. What's that? Says that Swatch. I need a T-shirt. Says does not play well with others. Well, I know you don't. They were in breach from the start of the contract. Yeah, it's a gesture of goodwill. They'll never admit it. But they should have given you the option to get out. I'd have been pushing for that so you didn't have to pay for the remainder of the contract. Which is something they can hold you to. You didn't get that little bit in. So, I don't understand how we got onto this. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. Well, in short, that's the history of the telephone service in Great Britain. I'm not even going to start on cable. Yeah, no longer with a good. Cable's a very long piece of. Well, how long's a piece of string? Have you still got fibre to your property?
Oh, Mr. Blow.
You.
Me?
No, you.
Yes.
You.
Yeah.
You. Yes.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Does that come directly from the exchange?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Okay. But between the exchange and wherever it's going to, that's copper twisted cable.
No, as far as I'm aware, it's fibre all the way.
Yeah, it's fibre all the way from the exchange to your property. Don't disagree with that at all.
No, right.
But
yeah, I remember Red Diffusion.
Ooh. Yes, another rip-off company.
Yeah.
They had their own underground sort of cable network. Yeah. Unfortunately, copper lines still exist. Yes, and that's where the problem is, which is part of the problem with the whole of the internet construction. It can't be replaced. There's no money in the pot, they reckon. Especially when BT, who unofficially still had connections with OpenReach when they split, but they were never a separate company. They were still owned by BT. They're now supposed to be separate. They insisted that every service provider who wanted broadband put their own equipment into their exchanges for fibre, Whereas where Mr. Blue is, where it says the City Fibre, it's one of the smaller cable companies, and they're using the old ducts for internet connection. So it's a strong possibility you do have fibre all the way through. And theoretically, so does Grandad. He doesn't know when to open his gob.
Well, I am.
Huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, we do. I
You
mean,
do?
these some properties, what's copper from outside. They usually have them on telegraph poles. They have the I don't know what you call them. Like the receiver is on the telegraph pole outside, and then it's copper into them old houses, but it's usually the old houses.
Yeah. So they've got copper. They've got fibre, but it's not fibre to the property.
No, it's to the nearest point.
Yeah. Whereas you've got fibre directly into the property, which theoretically gives you a better connection, but it is only Mr. Blue has said from the cabinet. Well, yes and no. Where Grandad is, their network has been laid so it's fibre underground to the cabinets and then back to the exchange. The problem is when it goes from the exchange, because they also have a separate telephone connection, which doesn't use the fibre at the moment. It will do, but not at the moment.
Correct.
It hasn't, unless it's already been converted over. You'll get a new router when it's changed over, and you'll have to plug your telephone into the back of the router.
Yeah, like you said, I'm gobsmacked at that, because to me, there's no. What happens if there's power cuts this winter? I know people with mobiles, but not all people have mobiles.
And
So if you've got an emergency,
what happens when you cross the road and you don't see the bus to hit you? Life's a chance, No, there's certain things which are which have to be in place for people who are classed as vulnerable. So that could mean a faster turnaround for an engineer to come out to issuing I would say pay-as-you-go phone, but some mobile companies are getting rid of pay-as-you-go, and some of the bigger known companies are getting rid of theirs as well. So I'm not 100% certain how that's going to work. I think they're probably going to go along the lines of fixing the problem sooner rather than later. Hello, ATL. Great to see you again. We spoke in the early hours. Well, the early hours for you, it was early morning for me, so to speak. Yeah, it's been another one of them long days.
What you just said there, Grim, though, about the prepaid SIM things and all that. Don't you think that they'll just put general people, what was on them, won't they put them on a capped tariff, something like every month, a revolving contract?
Oh, there's the last mobile company that removed pay-as-you-go from their network offered SIM deals, but they were restricted in the maximum they could have because of credit ratings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the way credit ratings are going to go now.
Yeah, but the there's been 3 companies that have removed them. New companies are actually going away from them.
Yeah.
Companies like giffgaff are similar to pay-as-you-go, but on a monthly basis, so to speak. You have a fixed amount that you spend and you get X, Y, or Z per month. It's actually more costly to provide pay-as-you-go than it is to provide contracted services, which is the reason why there's a massive savings. But yeah, I mean, I personally think that it's wrong. Yeah, you can have CB radios, but they're not as good as they used to be because now they work off FM, and the old burners won't work.
Yeah.
You won't be able to boost the signal. Plus, you wouldn't get permission to have a legal aerial on your property. Yeah, unfortunately. But you can still go back to the 2 tin cans and a piece of string and hold them as tight as possible. But that'll only work if you're children.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we've gone through quite a lot of things, but it just goes to show you how the powers that be are ripping us all off, right, left, right, and centre. You know, I mean, it's all right if you take out a new contract for a new service. A lot of companies now are saying every March there will be a minimum of a 3.5% increase. They're being more open and honest because the regulators say so. So they have no choice but to say it and to advertise it. The companies themselves are the ones that are responsible for pay-as-you-go. The mobile companies, it's entirely up to them. Yeah. Walkie-talkies. I love the way people come up with great ideas. I won't shoot that one down.
No, especially the way they are today, they're quite good now.
The receivers are, but not the transmitters. Transmitters are expensive if you want to get over a decent coverage, and they only work in line of sight.
Yeah.
As well, ideally. As soon as you try to go through a wall, they don't work that great. They tend to crackle a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, guess what? They're going to be doing everything they can do to keep us all down. Ham radio is probably the easiest way to go. As long as you got your ham radio license, of course, that is. Yeah. Oh, the trouble is I can burst anyone's bubble when I want to. Something which I'll never do is I'll never lie to anybody. I will tell you the truth as far as I can see it, and if I'm ever wrong, I will always apologize. Yeah, early mobile phones, yeah, they were walkie-talkies. They were also swinging bricks.
Yeah, there was.
And the very first ones weren't really mobile. You could carry them in a car, but they took up the whole of the footwell if they were mobile, and they were bloody heavy. And if I remember right, there was only about 2 mobile companies that they could use them, and I think one of them was Orange, off the top of my head, and it cost 50p, which, if you think about it by today's terms, isn't a lot, plus VAT per minute, plus a connection charge. And they worked off the car battery. However, you could plug them in to a converter at home. but it also cost the people who called you a fortune, as well
That's
as
right.
you ringing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would never call one of those numbers back in the day. Be the equivalent of Grandad ringing the local 09087 whatever number he rings, and it charges him £3.99 plus VAT plus handling fee and
No,
connection
you don't have to
charge.
do that, Grim. You don't have to do that. You just go on Telegram and go find people near me.
But don't you need the internet for that you can't afford?
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Because they put it up so much.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Sorry. Shouldn't take the piss, I know. But yeah. I do you know what? I forgot Lord of Audits was travelling. He's learning his new job. Climbing telegraph poles.
Oh, I thought he was going to say conductor of the train.
No, he's learning how to be a monkey.
Yeah, I did actually hear that he was doing the telegraph poles.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought there'd be so many about them about. It's only in old areas, isn't it? Usually in new areas, it's underground.
Depends on when it was built and how modern. If you're going across country, you're not going to put underground cabling.
Yeah, they do. What they do is they put it in the ditch. They just throw the cable in the ditch, I swear.
Yes, but
yeah,
it's going to take years before the whole of the country should say, can become broadband fiber related.
Yeah.
And do you know how much villages get charged when they asked for their own connection? Yes, they do get the fiber. However, the installation is on the village. And it's not cheap.
But
so the parish council has. They might do, yes.
I thought they was giving grants for that now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they will do for the farmers that need it. But there's no guarantee. And when I say country village, you could be go 10 miles away from you into the countryside, and you might come across a house every mile, say.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They will be on twisted copper only. They'll get an internet connection speed, if you're lucky, of 1 meg in some cases, and that would be classed as broadband.
Yeah.
But basically, at the end of the day, we're heading for a big crash, and my message is, if everybody here spoke with somebody and did the best that they could to warn people of what's coming and what it actually means in reality, then that's great. Hopefully they will tell someone else and they will tell someone else. But it's not just in here, it's everybody on the internet. They need to start talking and realizing it's not just in the UK, it's not just in the US or in Canada or even in Japan. It's all over. We are getting screwed right, left, and centre. And the sooner we start doing something about it, the better. However, I'm not stupid. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. And by the way, I booked my funeral a week on Friday.
Oh dear.
Yes, only the Grim Reaper could say that and get away with it. Right, I am going to say thank you to everybody who's turned up. Yes, it is a short live compared to the previous ones that we've had. There is actually something we do have, and I've just remembered. Would you like us to continue, Grandad?
To continue on what? On here?
Yeah.
Continue if
Okay.
everybody's out.
As if by magic, right, we have an ace up our sleeve. We have 20 questions, which we're not going to be reading out so that everybody can join in. And put your answers in the chat, please. Grandad, please don't shout out the wrong answers. I mean, the right answers. Okay. They're going to be scrolling across the bottom. You know where that banner normally goes? That's the reason why we haven't got the banner, because they're going to be scrolling across there shortly. We just got to wait for them to be loaded. And depending on... Oh, here we go. Hang on. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'll read it out just for a giggle. What is the colour of the blood of Star Trek's character Dr. Spock? So what was Spock's colour of his blood? Anyone says with pink and purple spots on, you're thinking of something else.
I was going to say that.
Who's Dr. Spock? Well, that's not my problem. Okay, so Gina says blue. I don't know whether there's any advance on blue. We'll soon find out who the true Spockins are, Star Trekkers. We've lost Tony Lee. Nice. Hopefully, if you can still hear, thanks for dropping by. Fat Belly's still talking about copper-based blood. But the question's up on the top there. I know you've come in late, Fat Belly, and I'm not picking on you in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't dare do that. But the question was, what is the colour of the blood of Star Trek character Dr. Spock? And I can guarantee you that it was not copper-based, regardless of whether he was a science officer or not. He wasn't an android.
Oh, my phone is.
Copper turns to blue, and you hate Star Trek, Gina. Okay, so we got Cheeky Sprite has gone with blue. Is anybody else coming up with any other answers? Oh, yeah, we got green at the top, green at the top. What else have we got? Around Gatwick? No, I'm only joking. I'm reading other ones. Yeah, it was actually green.
Oh, right. And I'd have said blue, to be honest. Yeah.
No. That's Mr. Blue. Quite correctly said as well. And the next flying question, which we'll have to read out, because some people are as blind as me and they can't read it, especially if it's on a phone. Didn't think of that one, hey, Patma? Okay, let's wait for it to go through again because anybody else. A Hindley is the offspring of a female ass or donkey. What is the male called? A hinny, I should say, is the offspring of a female ass or donkey. What is the male called?
Yeah.
Sorry. Stop laughing. You got it muted. It wasn't Eeyore. Gotta wait for that delay coming through from the chat.
Was
A
it
mule.
Shrek?
Oh. Or it could have been 2 mules for Sister, whoever it was. A mule. We've got a jack. We've got a stag. Stag's a deer. Well, I think it was anyway. Yeah, it is. Watch it be a bloody stag now. Wait for see if there's any more coming up or any repeats. A couple of good answers that it could be.
I think I know which one it is.
Bruno.
I can't.
Yeah, two mules for Sister Sarah. That's right. Praise the Lord. Whoever that was. So, Fat Belly, you can't have Bruno. Are you thinking of Bruno Mars, or am I just thinking he looks like an ass? A horse.
Horse.
Of
Now
course,
I
a
never knew
horse.
that one.
Do you know, Wolf Lover was in here, she'd have got it straight away.
Yes, you would.
It was not called Mr. Red.
Yeah.
And next, what are the 3 ingredients in the Spanish dish paella? Is it paella? Have I pronounced that correctly?
I believe so.
Thank you.
Is it pie and a bit of Ella?
Fish will be 1. But we need all 3. Don't Google Captain Birdseye. Rabbit, peas and prawns. Prawn, rice and chicken. Peppers, rice and meat. Umbrella, Ella. Onion, peppers. I'm waiting for someone to put chips in. Rabbit. Tomatoes. Hang on. Let me just read that again. It says, what are the 3 main ingredients, Miss Jade? Onions, tomatoes, and peppers. Well, that might be the vegetarian version. Rice, fish, and peas. Is that instead of chips, fish, and peas? Is that the healthy version? All right. Any more for any more? I'm going to give you a countdown. How long should we give them? Because they've got to catch up.
Well, they should be caught up by now. They should see it. It's only about 10 seconds delay in it.
Yeah. We've not had anything in for a while, so it is onions, peppers, and tomatoes. Isn't it strange?
Miss J got that.
Isn't it strange how Miss J got the answer correct? Not that anyone would be sending you any of the answers, obviously. Unlike what you would do to somebody else. That happened to Lord of Audits. He didn't know the answers to the questions, but he was being sent them in Skype. Mr. Blue, I think you're right. I think they're on a different parallel universe compared to us. What is the nationality of, and if somebody can pronounce that, please, Mathematician Gilbert Hillberg? What's the numbers afterwards?
He
died.
1943, I believe.
So why doesn't he put died instead of D?
Because it's easier.
Okay, so Jade's gone with German. Are we going to go with what Jade says? Swedish, Kim says. What is the nationality of the mathematician Gilbert Hillberg, who died in 1943? Dutch. So he was from Dutchland. I mean, the Netherlands. Tunettes is my topic. Me too, guessing. Is that a country? Grandad.
Yeah, I believe so.
Right. Or perverts. Well, okay. We've got Miss J going on her own tangent, which is fine. If you're not careful, Miss J, you'll come up here and sing the questions. Honestly,
Yeah,
not.
What a good idea. Get your bum up here.
No, she's not in the chat. Okay, so it looks to me as if we've got the answers from the chat. And the answer, of course, is German. I wonder who put German in. That's suitor, Miss Jade. Come on, guys, when are you going to learn? She knows the answers. Third question, I think. You counting?
No.
That's all right. Which group released the 1995 single Wake Up Boo? Shaggy Shaggy Doo? Boo Riley's. Oh, I like that. Miss Jade, well done. Bra? Boo Riley's misspelt. I'd say you're missing a few. I mean, you actually put bra in. Shall we go with the first one because she's got two, right, or not? Do you know what was happening, don't you?
What?
She was thinking of making herself comfortable and releasing a couple of things. So she typed it in the chat.
Yeah. Could be.
I'll give you. I tell you what. Two people come up with the same answer, and one person got it first. But if they're both right, they both get the points. Jean is going on about a paella.
I know.
And that paella is spelled differently to what was in the question. So I could have pronounced it wrong.
No, you can't give it to Miss J. Do you know why you can't give it to Miss J?
Yes, I can. Go on.
It says the Boo Rallies. It doesn't say Boo Rallies. It says the Boo Rallies. Bradley's, I should say. I need my glasses testing.
Right. I don't have the overriding decision on this. I'll say for one thing for definite. If that's the case, then Mr. Blue would get it wrong. You both got it right.
Give him the points.
I am not playing that silly game. Did that for 2 weeks on the trot. Which aircraft manufacturer produced the world's first commercial jet engine? And it wasn't BOAC. That was a aircraft holiday operating firm. Well, it was an airline, I should say. Mr. Blue says thanks to Miss J for helping him with the question. Yeah, you've got a spanner. Miss J won't have a spanner if she continues cheating. I mean, getting them right. I mean, sitting out there and not jumping up on here. No, can't even do that, can I? I think is that nobody else coming to come up with an answer. In fact, we haven't even had an answer to this one yet. Boeing says cheeky sprite.
Yeah.
Yep. What? Yeah, you're right. It does say Boeing, and it is spelled correctly. Lost spanner on both my accounts. Oh. Now I know what you're talking about. My apologies, Mr. Blue. Now I know why. Don't take it personally. It's nothing personal at all. Fat Betty's lost his. Quite a few people. We had somebody who went in and just went, get rid. No. It didn't do that. We have far too many spanners and not enough engines. Sorry, far too many chiefs and not enough engines. Something like that, anyway. Yeah, no, that's not a problem, Miss J. That can be arranged. Make sure I do this right. Yeah, add as a moderator. And remove as a moderator. Okay, that's sorted. We've still got the same number of moderators now. I just swapped them around, Grandad.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you get for turning up late and being a cocky so-and-so. Oh, Grandad, why did you have to do it?
Why did they have to do what?
Go into the chat. Really? Hello, Miss Hammer. Nice to see you here. Well, you went into the chat and you made a sarcastic comment.
Who did?
Or I should say, you told someone to do something. Didn't you?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Me?
You went in. Yes, you. You went into the chat and you told someone to do something. Didn't ask.
I said, get up here.
Yeah. You didn't say please.
Please get up here.
Too late now. She can have your spanner.
That's all right.
You can mod yourself. You can mod yourself.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you can just go and mod yourself. So the answer was, of course, de-evaluate the comment. So it wasn't Boeing. Do you know what? I've never heard of the comment.
She deserves a spank.
Hey?
That's what Miss Jaded said. Miss Emma's put, Grandma never said anything. Have a good night. Too tired to take care of.
Yeah, I only said hello to you.
Yeah, he was talking to me, Miss Emma.
You prefer a spanker to a spanner any day? Well, listen, next time I hear from a certain older gentleman, I shall pass your comments on. Carl and Allison. Okay, sorry, we're losing this. I've lost the plot again. Glad's Hill Place in Kent was the country house of which author? Glad's Hill Place in Kent was the county home of which author? Good night, Miss Emma. Thanks for dropping in. It's always good to see you. I wonder. I mean, I could be going off a tangent here slightly, but I wonder if it had anything to do with that famous author who wrote quite a lot of plays. Or books that were turned into plays. Charles Dickens. Isn't it amazing how fast Google works when you've got a decent internet connection?
Well, this is it, isn't it? Oh, shit, it's sounding like an echo on.
An echo on?
Yeah, an echo on.
No idea what you're talking about. Right, so we've seemed to only have the one answer. Just waiting to see whether anybody else wants to stab at it. Never know, they might want to talk to a skeleton. Well, they had anyway, you know, alas. Or am I trying to put you off? Charles Dickens, thanks, Blue. I trust you. Oh, yeah. See what loyalty gets you, only if she believes it gets her the right answer. I knew someone would say it, Shakespeare. I knew it. Remind me next time I come over to see you, Grandad, to do some alterations to your sound card.
Oh, right, I will do.
Like, turn off the sound effects. So it doesn't go right down here.
No, that was off my phone, to be honest. That was my phone.
Oh, right, okay.
What it is, the orb comes on, you see, and every time it picks up, it does that noise.
Right. Okay, so we've only got one, but we've got two answers. It was Charles Dickens.
Oh, good. That was good.
Cheeky Sprite, I was taking the mickey regarding the suggestions.
Children sound. Female sound. Male sound.
Okay. When you've finished, can you put it back in the box, please? Can we have the next question? Thank you. Okay, for anybody who's a racing fan, the Dante Stakes, named after a famous Derby winner, takes place at which race course? Now, remember, this race course could be anywhere in the world. No. I don't think there's a race course called Charles Dickens. I like Charles Dickens. The only thing which I disliked about him was that famous book, Christmas Carol, where they had that horrible man who became such a nice guy. I preferred Jacob Marley. DeWitt, York. Grandad, behave.
What I'm doing now.
Time lag? That's not time lag. That's Grandad being silly or attempting to be. He thinks he's humorous. So far we've only got York Racecourse. Oh, now Miss J, really? So you either know that for definite or you're just copying DeWitt. And Grandad stroke Mr. Ice, who is melting, muted himself there.
Yeah, just so I could change it back. Because else you hear all them things come up, don't you?
Well, I only heard a bit what it was. Yeah, it's a problem with that particular sound box because it's so small. You have to have good eyesight or good memory to know how to get out of it once you start pressing buttons.
Yeah.
Any advances on York? Because you got Epsom, salts. You got Aintree. Oh, Aintree sweet. If Ziggy had cheese on him, it would melt. He's such a hot dog. Thirsk. Yeah, there is a race course in Thirsk. I'm sure there is. I've heard of Thirsk, but that's probably not the reasoning why.
Yeah, there is a race course there.
That's not that far away from York. That's the funny thing. Thirsk.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I have every sympathy with the cheese if you were to put it on Ziggy. No, okay, so quiz mistress, it was York. Well, so far we have one person in front and one person who's been what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, blacklisted. Kiss Me Once in 2014 was an album by which pop group? Good night, Cheeky Sprite. Safe travels. Just don't pour him into the driver's seat without thinking.
Yeah, good night, cheeky sprite.
Well, so far we don't have any answers to this latest question, so let's move on. The shadows. I don't think we've got anyone of that era, so it's a little bit of an unfair question. Can we have the answer so we can move on, please? Kylie Manika, go. I'm going to give that one to Gina. No, not. You said Sados, not Sado. The next question, leading up. Go on, Grandad. You can read this one out. I can't see it.
Well, I can't either.
Oh. Well. Can we have a number one in the banner, please, if that is the end? Or the next question, please. The Invisible Quizmaster. Have you fallen asleep again? We're going to have to get rid of this one. Oh, here we go. What type of bird is the main character in the Rio films?
Of the Rio films.
What type of bird? I thought it was Marilyn Monroe. Oh, sorry, feathered, you mean? Sorry. Because I know it wouldn't have been Bob Hope or Bing Crosby. Or even Bob Hope. I think he did most of them. I have a feeling that it's a big American bird. A parrot. I only watch horror or thriller types. Bird of Paradise, Alison said. Never heard of it. What, the Rio films? Road to Rio? I haven't a clue. I don't even know what films they're talking about. I would say probably that Alison's got the favourite answer there, or the best answer. It could be totally wrong, but... Wasn't... No, Phoenix was Harry Potter. Oh, I see, Carl. It just sounded good, did it? Okay. Oh, question mark was the bird. What type of bird is the main character of the Rio films? That is the question. She's just guessing, saying it. All right, okay. Best answer so far. Apart from the parrot. And I'm sure Mr. Blue was thinking of something else. Okay, so you're going for the flamingo bird, are you, Carl? Okay, so we've got 3 possible answers. Monty Python's parrot, a cockatoo, a flamingo, or a bird of paradise. Or we've got the best one yet, angry, ostrich,
Cockatoo. Just reading you, Miss Jane.
a seagull, marquois, Okay, so we've had loads of answers. Miss J, have I been blocked?
No.
No,
No.
no, we can see you in the chat. Even if you got every single one, a marquois. If that's how you pronounce it correctly, Mr. Blue, well done. Miss J, you should have copied.
Macaw.
Well, marquois. Don't forget, I say things phonetically.
I know what you mean.
I have verbal dyslexia. Oh God. This very short question, which will only be read out the once, so please take note. 2009 novel and another, I think, author thing of Ian Coffer was the final installment in which sci-fi series written about another author? Anybody else wants to read it out, Mr. Grandad? Please do so.
What? No, I'm all right. They can read.
Not everybody can. Not everybody can see it.
Oh, yeah, of course. 2009 author and another thing by, I don't know, is it E? I can't pronounce that word.
Oh, wait, it's coming through now. Coming through.
What?
Ian Coffer.
Coffer was the final installment in which sci-fi series written by another author.
Thank you. So expertly done. It's all right. I had to count the zeros to make sure it was 2009. Well, so far, that's really got them stumped. Either that or just refusing to answer the question on the basis that they don't answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far, 0 points. 0 guesses. Archimedes foul. I'm either stoned or Ted Rogers. I'm giving away a dustbin. Douglas Adams. Star Trek. 42. Well, that would mean that the book was called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Because if the answer's 42, that's the reasoning why. Won't be a second. I've just got to take a call.
Okie dokie. Yeah, he corrected your spelling, Miss J. Carl and I listen to saying Star Wars. Right, so it was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams. So you got the. Did you get the first bit? Miss J. I don't know if you put the other bit earlier on or out. Spaceballs. What does para stand for in the Paralympic Games?
So I was right.
About, yeah.
Okay. Have you read the question out? Sorry.
Yes.
I'll take the call.
Go around.
Thank you.
Not got no answers yet. Oh, there we go. Nice we have.
Well, here's something which is interesting because technically they're not allowed to say that anymore because it would be politically incorrect.
Right, it is balmy, isn't it? All the different things.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Oh no, you get. Listen, I'm just pointing it out. That's all. I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's out of date compared to everybody else. Well, I thought it was parallel because I thought it was all full of gymnasts. Parallel bars, drunks. No, okay. So you sound. Oh God, be back in a sec. He's ringing me back.
Okie dokie.
Right. So we still got. Oh, hang on. Space sports. Okay. Parallel.
Yeah.
Notice you got the answer correctly.
Yeah. Sure
Not to mention the spelling correctly.
I know.
That's the difference between copying and pasting and typing.
Go on, you can see it.
Shakespeare's play set mainly in which city? And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that because I have no idea how to.
No, I can't either.
I can tell you the last four letters is related to an anus. Rome. Yes, I like the way you spelt it as well. I'm going to give you that. Hey up. Miss Jade's done it again. She's typed it in, missed the R, and now come back with a capital R. Because it's a city. It's a name.
That's right.
Do you know what? You'd think that Miss Jade was very clever, wouldn't you?
Well, she isn't she?
Getting all these right.
I thought she was.
No, she's just got a quicker internet connection.
I thought it was the phone call.
Doesn't matter whether it's a capital city, Miss Jade. It is still a name. So as such, it has a capital R. Because a town starts with a capital, and it's nothing to do with being a capital city. Yes, see, spelt the same. Copy and paste. Have to have words with the invisible one.
Yeah, invisible man.
Miss Jade, it's not my problem. How many spirits you met at the graveyard? I just hope that you put them back after you finish with them. Into necrophilia. In 1903, Panama succeeded from which country? Now, the problem is because we don't have a person actually asking the questions, we can't clarify what the question means. I would have said Cuba because Panama is a cigar.
Yeah.
What do you think, Grandad?
Yeah, I think you could be right.
One of them was Stangu, spirit. Well, he wasn't allowed out. I don't know why you let him out. He's been naughty again. The quizmaster, by the way, folks, for those who don't know, watched a lot of The Lion King when they were younger, which is the reason why they're now invisible. They don't really want to be identified. I know that because I know the name of the quizmaster. He's a replacement. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep him though. Well, apart from my feeble answer, nobody seems to have either understood the question or really put a question and answer in, except for Mr. Blue, USA. Any advance on the USA into Cuba? The Cuban Missile Crisis. Notice it was never called a war. That was a crisis.
Yeah. There you are. You've got Chunky Geordie saying Panama is America, not Cuba.
Well, you got the Panama Canal, which is between the two.
Go on then.
I'm still waiting for the answer to magically appear.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm going on about. There we go. Oh, right.
Colombia. And Colombia is not in America. South America, different continent. Because you've got North America, America, and Southern America. You can read this one.
Oh, yeah. Princess Diana of whatever is an alter ego of which superhero? I can't say that name, so either make your screen bigger. Did you say
Captain Caveman. Sorry. Same as Skilla, I think is the pronunciation. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Temiscalia. I've only ever heard of one Princess Diana.
Snap.
Oh, God, what was her name? That's actually a trick question. Super Gran? Billy the Wonder Dog?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing how after a while the answer comes out,
Yeah.
then gets copied again?
Yeah.
And it was Diana Prince. That was the name of the character when she worked as a mild-mannered reporter. No, I think he copied you. Wonder Woman. But who played the original character? No, I'm joking. Next question, please. He's got to type it in. Or she's got to type it in. Definitely female. Which religion is the name that translates as submission in English? Ye will submit. Resistance is futile. You know, Mr. Grandad is having a conversation with us and a conversation with somebody else. He's two-timing the stream. That's why there's a delay. Me thinks he's talking to Nicholas.
I'm not. I went for a whiz and then washed my hands and then went for some biscuits. So I'm just going to mute because you don't want me crunch.
Well, only if you start spitting them out would we actually hear you.
No, you can hear me, Lord.
You mean you don't like talking with your mouth full for a change? Unfortunately, I've got to take the dog out, so someone's got to talk to this this group of wonderful people. Islam. Don't think so. Could be wrong. I thought it was Christian. Or Catholic. But more than likely it'd be Church of England.
There you go. Set the dog for a whiz. Islam.
Yeah, there's only one person who got it right.
Mr. Blue.
Yep, because Islam is not a religion. Right, I'll leave the next couple in your capable hands.
Okie dokie.
I think there's only about another 3 or 5 questions left. You can have those, mate.
Ready and waiting. What fibre is used to make velveteen? What fibre is used to make velveteen? Is it velvet? Ah, well, set that up with Grim. Miss J. He's the master. He's the puppet master. I must admit, neither do I, Chunky Jody. Anybody got an answer? Oh, Miss J says cotton. Any advance on cotton? Oh, surprise, surprise, it's cotton. You're well educated, Miss J. Which is the only country outside of Africa to have the native lions? Which is the only country outside of Africa to have the native lions? Yeah, Chunky. Google must be great. Either that or Alexa. Or the other ones. I can't think what they call the other ones. Mr. Blue says Kenya. Any advance on Kenya?
I thought that I was going to say I was under the impression that Africa was a continent.
Ah, right.
Rather than a country.
Yeah. India.
India's a country, yes. I was thinking more of tigers for that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
How many have we got left? Mrs. Quizmaster. Mistress, I should say.
And there's a silence.
You can hear it.
Yeah. Sure. Go on, you can read that.
No, I missed it.
I'm up for some more biscuits.
Okay. Which part of the Vatican was named after the Pope who commissioned it? Sixtus the Fourth. What was the name? Sorry, which part of the Vatican was named after the Pope who commissioned it? Sixtus the Fourth. Now, it's strange that the Vatican uses the Roman symbols, if you think about it. Celeste Chapel. I was thinking of Celine Dion then for a second. Totally misread things and thought them. So we've only got one answer so far, and I would, if I was a. Oh, you mean you're not copied and pasted it properly? Okay. Miss Jade is. Would you say that she's right, as she has been the majority of the time?
Yeah.
Yo, I've been. Is that the one which they were painting the ceiling on? Am I thinking of the right place? When it, dude, what's his face? Who painted it?
Michelangelo or something. Oh.
Yeah, St. Peter's tombs there. Oh, right, okay. Has he finished with it? It's awesome. You mean a load of money at the time was spent? See, it told you she'd miscopied it. You're gonna have a word with your mother. She's just to make sure she's not being so obvious with this. I know she's quiz mistress, but yeah, as I say, they spent all that money on a chapel. You think they'd have to put something in there, so they built a tomb. And called it St. Peter's. Yeah, Mr. Blue, you got that right. Final question. Yay. I said yay, not Jay. So, for the final time tonight, which fictional feline was owned by the Marquels of what? Carabas?
Carabas. I don't know.
Well, told you I got dyslexia of the mouth. Top cat. Could have been the Black Panther. Mr. Blue, cat. What, a cat? A black cat? A blue cat? A Persian? I'll tell you what, you and I done well on these, haven't we? Puss in Boots, Ajot says. You come in for the final question, Ajot. And if you haven't already subscribed to Ajot's Corner, why not? There's the question. It's a great show. But then again, I can only say that because I'm always over there.
I fell asleep.
It's all right. It's afternoon over there. It's allowed. Okay, so we've got no advances on Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Run. It was Puss in Boots. Well done, Edgehog comes in and steals everything.
Yeah.
You win. You get the opportunity now as your prize to stay awake next week and come up with a new quiz. She had a Puss in Boots and that.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I not mention what the prize was? Do apologise. No, there's no prize. But what a way to come in. It was a bit like myself when I was given the final question, winner takes all, the other day. And I was the only one who knew the answer. Oh, all right. I was the only one who got there quicker than anybody else. And I didn't need Google. I felt lucky with the answer because it was the only one I knew. What is the chemical formula? Sorry, what is, on the periodic table, what does PE stand for? And most people thought it was games. No, it wasn't. It's you didn't get that one, did you, Grandad?
No.
Physical education games.
No, didn't do it.
PE. No, exactly. It was iron.
Didn't do it. I used to go.
Not FE. PE. Yeah, it was FE actually. I just misheard it. I just told you PE was. Oh, do you know? Some people. Okay, on that note, obviously, Miss J's just getting very tired. And she's really upset now as well. She's taking it out on me. Because she lost on the final question. You see, it doesn't matter how many questions you get it right throughout the game. It's all on the final question. Yes, thank you for taking part, everybody. Thank you to the unknown assassin.
Yeah.
The one and only, I can't say their name, not allowed to. Signed to secrecy.
Yeah.
Good night, Ziggy. Be careful when you go anywhere near the cheese. We don't want you to be a total hot dog. And look out, if she starts pouring mustard sauce on you or anything like that, run.
Yeah, everybody take care. Love to everybody.
Thanks for turning up. Short show. We might get a bit longer next week. It depends on how quickly certain things go through. I know I bored you, but thanks so much for it. I really do appreciate it.
Well, we've been here 3 hours. 3 hours?
3 hours? Can't believe we
Aye.
said that at the same time. Okay, tomato sauce. You know, these people are so finicky. Yeah. Well, you'll see most of us are around, actually. I'm very around these days, but that's beside the point. I'll probably be online later on during the early hours of the morning here, middle of the evening to late evening to yourself, J-Jot. But yeah, once again, thanks very much for dropping by. We'll go ahead and do another one next Friday, probably. We might have a few extra people up on the channel. We might even have some people who don't cheat. But until then, thank you very much, guys and ladies.
Yeah.
And Grandad, thank you for dropping by as well. It's been really nice having you back up here.
You take care, Grim.
All right. Cheers now. We're going to end the stream, guys and girls. Goodbye.
Bye.